We're here for one reason, and one reason only. Starts with a W.
To work, Coach Orion, sir!
It's the last stop on the Mighty Ducks Zamboni Express.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was awesome.
D3, the Mighty Ducks, is probably the least popular out of the trilogy. It probably has to do with it having the least amount of hockey, the least amount of Bombay, but plenty of Charlie's hissy fits.
Listen, I'm not a defenseman, I'm a scorer. Just get out of here then. I don't care, I don't need you, go. Oh, give me a break. Hey, listen, I was trying to win it. Some stupid school, the alumni. Huh?
On bass, Posh Spice. On keyboards, Mr. Cool. And on drums, Spazzy McGee. Okay.
And like any sequel, there's gonna be some missing characters. So let's take the time and reflect on our fallen ducks. It's been a long day without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. The movie begins with the Ducks getting scholarships to some prep school in Minnesota. We're only 5 minutes in, and Charlie is unfairly whining about Bombay taking another job instead of coaching the Ducks again. Bombay probably saw more zeros on his Hendricks hockey contract than Guy Germain's jersey, that it was a no-brainer to ditch the Ducks. Or he realized that most of the guys have never even heard of preseason training, and on top of that, deal with their hormones. Coach Orion takes over Bombay's role, and nobody likes him, because he actually coaches hockey. Instead of flying V and rodeo roundups, he teaches fundamentals and...
Defense never quits. But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
Fun. Rancher Dwayne. Yes, sir. Round me up some stray cattle there.
Confidence. It's easy to be confident when you have control of the puck. It's very, very difficult to keep that confidence when you got to take whatever strange bounces life throws your way. You cannot be afraid to lose.
And he makes Julie a starter and sends Banks up to varsity.
How can he do this to me? What am I, chopped liver?
Which means he recognizes skill. Unlike Bombay, who rather played Goldberg. A guy so chubs, it's easier for him to make Julie gain weight than for him to lose some.
You know, you're gonna need a lot of energy to play on this level. Carbo loading, you know? See this thing right here is packed with energy.
But I gotta hand it to him. He did end up losing that weight. The villains in this story is the varsity team, which actually makes more sense than D2. Instead of a racist stereotype, it's replaced with a bunch of rich kids that don't like poor people.
You ducks don't belong here in Eaton Hall. You're our own little affirmative action, brought in for color to entertain us, but you couldn't even do that.
The Warriors die, and the Ducks fly.
Yeah. Anything you say, loser.
The rivalry results in clothes and liquid nitrogen, dine and dashing gone wrong.
Thanks for dinner, losers!
$857?
Where are we gonna get that kind of cash?
And filling dorms with Brazilian fire ants.
You're funny, huh? You think you're worth a damn? You're just white trash! Who you calling white trash?
In their first game, Charlie leads the way as they go up 9 heading into the third period. When did Charlie go from playing air hockey to being an absolute stud? And I'm not just talking about hockey here. It's gotta be some performance enhancers, right? Cause like, how do you explain this? But they somehow choke a 9-goal lead, and that's enough for the school to revoke their scholarships. Charlie quits the team because, well, you know, he doesn't want to take off his Pee-wee jersey.
Take off the jersey right now or you don't play.
You're breaking up the best thing any of us ever had.
And Hans rather die than deal with his attitude.
How can he expect me to lead when he takes away my seat?
Goodbye, Charlie.
Every time you touch the ice, remember it was Hans that taught us to fly.
Fly, you fools!
Gordon reprises his role as the drunken, dirty lawyer to reinstate the scholarships.
I'm sorry, Coach, but unless there is a motion from a board member and a second, the decision must stand.
You leave us no choice but to bring in our attorney.
Dean Buckley comes to the board.
In the JV versus varsity showdown, it's how you'd expect any younger team going up against a more physically imposing varsity team. By imposing, I mean their psychotic coach wants to prevent their own JV team from ever competing, which involves a 32-year-old man decking teenagers.
Go. Be all right, partner.
Now I resent that.
Oh, it's so pretty up there. Hi, Coach.
And if you notice any characters who look familiar, you wouldn't be wrong. For instance, the coach for varsity plays the ref in D2. We also got the principal from the first one playing a high school teacher, and my favorite, varsity's goalie Scooter, also played Gunnar Stahl.
Good work, Captain Duck.
Thanks, Gunnar.
Great game, Gaffney.
Thanks, Scooter.
Not to mention, Steve Brill, who did the screenplay, pulls a Stan Lee by appearing in every film. And I almost forgot, Paul Kariya's legendary cameo. It must have been right after the New Jersey game. Cause how else do you explain this dude's presence at a random high school game in Minnesota?
NHL sensation Paul Kariya. Paul, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Josh. It's great to be in Minnesota.
Heading into the third, the score is a whopping 0-0, and there's only one man who can shift the momentum.
Hey, wait a second. Is that Dean Portman? Well, it looks like the other Bass brother is back, and he's brought the Ducks a renewed spirit.
For about a minute or so before he hospitalizes the front row. And charged with indecent exposure.
This is insanity. Dean Portman he's stripping.
Wait a second. Didn't he have a tattoo?
Hey, is that a tattoo? Is it real?
Well, guess the answer's that. Well, on a 5-on-3 shorthanded, Charlie does the triple deke.
He's all alone. He passes back to Goldberg.
And they celebrate like they've won a championship, while the school's varsity program probably got shut down from pure embarrassment. And that concludes the Mighty Ducks trilogy. Is it the fact that Disney made a weird space cartoon that had nothing to do with the movie? Or is it that an NHL franchise named their team after them?
You have never heard of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. They named a pro team after us.
D3, The Mighty Ducks, is a guilty pleasure movie because it tops off of what could be the best sports franchise ever. Name a franchise so iconic that a sports team brought the original cast to a game for a ceremonial puck drop. Well, some of them.
Warm welcome to some of the cast, crew, and creative team from the Mighty Ducks movies. Welcome Matt Doherty, Fulton Reed for Eldon Henson, Garrett Henson, who played Guy Germain, Adam Banks, Connie Moreau, Julie the Cat Gaffney, Dean Portman, Ken Wu, Dave Karp, Tommy Duncan, Russ Tyler's brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble placing you.